Appreciate it. Police were explicit about the disturbing nature of this alleged crime. They said, quote, Lowe confessed that she knowingly and intentionally killed each of her children using her bare hand to stop their breathing until they were dead in order to prevent her parents from discovering. Now, because of other cases involving mothers killing infants, some might immediately jump to the conclusion that this was some sort of psychiatric condition related to her pregnancy. I think people understand things like postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, where people can do unusual things in an altered state from the pregnancy. But time course wasn't quite right for this. And Lisa, you think the motivation was quite different in this case. Is that right?
Yeah, she really doesn't fit the typical profile of the young teenager who's extremely immature and uneducated from a poor background. So what I see with girls like this, when they kind of fit into the other category, I know it sounds strange, but I call it the 4 daddy reasons. The first is the baby daddy. There's something about the father of the child that she desperately has to keep the baby secret, whether it's his race, his religion, his criminal background. Sometimes these women have been, raped by a family member, or the baby was created out of infidelity. Second is her own daddy. So her daddy and her mommy. She's afraid of what her parents are going to think of her. They might disown her. They'll be so disappointed in her. They'll be angry at her. Third is the community daddy, kind of our religious organizations, our community leaders, our school leaders, that the girls are so desperately hiding this because they don't want to be seen as a bad girl or a sinner or a disappointment to people. And finally is what I call kind of the wannabe daddy. There's a boy who she wants to be the father, and either it's not him, and so she doesn't want the boy she wants to hook up with to know she's pregnant, or it is her current boyfriend or fiance, and either the baby was conceived out of infidelity, or she knows that the father of the child is going to be very upset and might even break up with her if he knew that she was pregnant. All of these reasons are purely for her, and she's not thinking at all about the innocent child that she's created.
So we really are saying these are truly psychological motivations or socio-psychological motivations and not a disturbed psychiatric condition. District Attorney Whitley, we spoke last week about the possibility of Lowe's fiance not being the father of the twins, and we just heard Lisa Boeski add that particular daddy to the list of 4 daddies. What are your thoughts on that tonight?
Well, I don't want to speculate at this point, Dr. Drew, on who the daddy is. All I can say is that we have done appropriate DNA testing, and we will find out who the daddy is through that DNA, and that remains to be seen.
You heard what the psychologist Lisa Boeski was saying about the motivators for cases in this sort of category. It kind of sounds like Ms. Lowe here, doesn't it?
Well, it sounds like at least 2 or 3 of those categories may well be met in this case.
Or 3 or 4. Now,